Welcome, my dear friends. Have you ever wondered why you sometimes feel blocked when facing a challenge? Or why you carry a quiet responsibility to help the less fortunate? Throughout the story of the world, there are 7 types of powerful beings who guide humanity. Beings that reincarnate into ordinary people and, without their knowing, steer their steps through the spiritual realm. Today, every human who is born carries unique traits that allow one of these powerful beings to inhabit their essence. In this video, you will discover what those traits are and whether you're truly a reincarnated chosen one. These beings range from prophets who can lead crowds toward enlightenment to spiritual warriors who bravely fight for invisible yet profoundly sacred causes. This mysterious journey that a chosen one walks is in truth a divine calling, an invitation to recognize and accept your role in a cosmic project far greater than the human mind can conceive. This narrative connects your individual experiences to higher purposes, revealing deep angelic missions. When the chosen one understands their purpose, they find clarity on the spiritual path and reach unimaginable levels of consciousness. Perhaps you're one of these reincarnated chosen ones, marked to lead destinies, heal hearts, or transform realities. Discovering your calling may not only elevate your spirit, but also bring your celestial guides closer to you. Pay close attention. Since ancient times, prophets, seers, and sages have been remembered as messengers between heaven and earth. Oracles carried within them a rare gift, the ability to see beyond what ordinary eyes can perceive. But is this gift reserved only for a chosen few? Or is it possible that you on some level also carry the essence of the oracle? The oracle is not just someone who predicts the future. Above all, they are a channel of divine wisdom. Their mission is to reveal hidden truths, to guide those who seek answers, and to translate messages that come from the unseen. Spiritually, the oracle is recognized by 3 main pillars: clairvoyance, the vision beyond vision, the ability to see images, symbols, and signs that reveal what is hidden; clairaudience, the ability to hear what is not spoken in words, to capture the whispers of intuition and the subtle messages of the universe; and clairsentience, the ability to feel deeply what others cannot, to perceive emotions, energies, and intentions that remain unseen. How can you know if you carry this essence within you? Observe yourself honestly. Have you always had strong intuition, almost impossible to ignore? Have you ever felt something before it happened, as if you already knew the outcome? Do people seek your advice even when you don't offer it? Do you often feel a heavy emotional or spiritual weight when entering certain places or meeting certain people? Do symbolic messages appear in your dreams, bringing important revelations? If you answered yes to many of these questions, perhaps the archetype of the oracle is alive within you. For the oracle to truly flourish, certain practices must be cultivated. Inner silence, for the divine voice can only be heard in the quiet mind. Purity of intention, never using the gift to manipulate, but to guide and enlighten. Discernment, for not everything that is seen or felt must be revealed, and wisdom lies in knowing the right time to speak. And service, because the oracle does not keep their visions for themselves, but offers them as a torch of light for those walking in darkness. The oracle is the guardian of spiritual vision. They do not only predict, they bring clarity to the present. If you feel this calling in your heart, do not ignore it. Life is constantly sending you signs, and your gift may be the key to transform both your journey and the journey of others. Remember, to recognize yourself as an oracle is not about power, but about accepting the role of serving as an instrument of the divine. Since the dawn of humanity, there have always been those who refused to follow the imposed path. Beings who did not fit the mold, who did not bow to rules, who felt within their souls a higher calling. These are the free spirits, divine chosen ones whose mission is to remind the world that true freedom is a sacred right. The free spirit is born with an unstoppable force within, the certainty that they did not come into this world to be prisoners of systems, the clarity that life is far greater than what others try to impose, the conviction that every human being was born to live authentically, not as a copy of someone else's model. They are called to break invisible chains, traditions that enslave, beliefs that limit, paths imposed without question. How can you recognize this gift in yourself? From an early age, you felt you didn't fit into society's common rules. You preferred to follow your own path, even if it meant walking alone. You carry an inner strength that tells you life must be lived in authenticity, not conformity. Many may see you as rebellious, an outsider, or different. But deep down, you know you're simply being yourself, and you feel you were born to inspire others to also break their chains and live truthfully. If these words resonate with your heart, perhaps you carry the mission of the free spirit. To embody this archetype fully, it is necessary to cultivate courage to say no, radical authenticity, respect for your own journey, and inspiration for others. The free spirit is a visionary. They are not here only to live differently, but show the world that another path exists. Their life is an invitation to remind everyone that freedom is not an option. It is a divine right. If inside you there is a voice saying, "I cannot be imprisoned. I was born to fly," then perhaps you are one of these chosen ones. And remember, being a free spirit is not rebellion. It is the celebration of your true identity. Throughout the ages, whenever lies spread and darkness tried to cover the light, there arose those who carried within them a voice that could not be silenced. These are the truth speakers, divine chosen ones whose mission is to reveal what is hidden, to bring clarity where there is confusion, and to awaken sleeping consciences. This chosen one feels from an early age that something greater is guiding their words. Their life is marked by moments when they cannot remain silent in the face of injustice. Even when speaking means exposure, losing friends, or facing criticism, they know their mission is to be a channel of the divine voice. They do not speak only for themselves. They speak for spirit, for truth, for the light that longs to manifest in the world. You may be one of them if you have always felt a deep need to express what you believe. If you easily perceive when something is false or manipulative. If you have been called too honest, too direct, or even inconvenient, because your truth confronts what many try to hide. If you have a natural gift for inspiring, teaching, or guiding others. If you have had moments when words flowed through you as if they came from a higher source. If this resonates within, perhaps your mission is to carry the torch of truth. To embody this archetype fully, it is necessary to cultivate purity of intention, speaking not to impose, but to liberate. Spiritual discernment, understanding when and how the truth should be revealed. Courage to face resistance, since truth is not always welcome. And humility, remembering you are not the owner of truth, but a channel through which it flows. The truth speaker is an awakener of souls. Their presence reminds us that truth may be uncomfortable, but it is always liberating. They are not called to please, but to illuminate. If there's a voice inside you that insists on speaking, that refuses to live in silence before falsehood, then perhaps you are one of these chosen ones. And remember, when your voice unites with the divine, it is no longer just words. It becomes prophecy, guidance, and liberation. In the midst of the world's shadows, when darkness seems to grow stronger, there appear those who are chosen to protect what is sacred. They do not just carry the light within, they become the living flame itself, spiritual guardians who watch, sustain, and preserve the essence of the divine. These are the guardians of light. The guardian of light feels, from an early age, a responsibility they cannot explain. They sense the weight of darkness, feel heavy energies, and yet they do not retreat. Their soul was forged to resist, to protect the weak, to be a beacon when all seems lost. They are the ones who hold the torch of hope firmly, even when everyone else has given up. You may be one of them if your presence brings peace and safety to those around you. If your intuition senses when something is wrong in an environment, if you maintain an inner strength even in hardship, if you feel you are born to protect, to guide, and to shelter others, if people in pain are naturally drawn to you because your energy feels like a refuge. For this archetype to fully manifest, you must learn to protect your own energy, cultivate inner strength, offer compassion without arrogance, and keep a disciplined spiritual practice. The guardian of light is a spiritual sentinel. They shine not only for themselves, but to illuminate the path for those walking in darkness. Their mission is clear: to protect what is sacred and to keep the flame of hope alive. If there is a force within you that rises even in chaos, if you feel you were born to protect and guide, perhaps you're a guardian of light. And remember, being a guardian is not just about carrying the flame, it is about becoming the flame. There are moments in life when the body may endure, but the soul feels broken. Throughout history, there have always been those given the divine gift to restore the unseen, to heal wounds that cannot be seen but bleed within the spirit. These are the soul healers, chosen to be instruments of divine compassion. The healer does not seek this path for vanity, but out of compassion. They feel pain of others as if it were their own. They carry such deep empathy that they may cry over sufferings they never lived. Their life is a constant call to care, restore, and guide. They know their mission is not just to ease temporary pain, but to reconnect every being to their divine essence. You may be one if people naturally come to you to vent or ask for advice. If you sense when someone is not well without them saying a word, if your presence brings calm, comfort, and hope, if your own wounds have taught you to understand the pain of others, If you feel you were born to be a channel of healing through words, touch, prayer, or simply your presence, to embody this archetype fully, you must purify your own energy, channel healing through the divine, give selflessly, and remember that even the healer must heal themselves. The soul healer is a living remedy that the divine sends to the world. They awaken hearts to the truth that they are loved, guided, and sustained by the sacred. If you feel a deep desire to ease the suffering of others, perhaps you are one of these chosen ones. And remember, healing is not just about closing wounds. It is about teaching the soul to bloom again. Before we move to the sixth chosen one, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Together, we will light more flames in the world. Throughout history, whenever oppression rose and the innocent was silenced, the divine lifted those who would never accept tyranny. They do not fight for pride, but because their soul burns with an unstoppable calling to defend truth, to protect the weak, and to restore the sacred order. These are the warriors of justice. The warrior of justice is born with an incorruptible sense of honor. They feel the pain of injustice as if it were personal. When they see someone oppressed, their spirit rises, for they know they were not placed in this world to remain silent. Their life is a spiritual battlefield, and their mission is to raise the sword of truth wherever darkness tries to reign. Perhaps you are one of them if you have always revolted against injustice, even when it did not affect you directly. If you have a courageous spirit that prefers to face battles rather than stay silent. If you feel born to defend, protect, or lead. If you carry a strength that inspires confidence in others. If life often places you in conflicts because justice needs your presence. To fulfill this mission, you must cultivate inner balance, spiritual discipline, unshakable courage, and love for humanity. The warrior of justice is the living shield of the divine. They remind us that truth will always find a defender, and justice, no matter how long it takes, will always prevail. If within you burns a flame that refuses to accept injustice, then perhaps you are one of these chosen ones. And remember, the true warrior does not fight to destroy, but to protect light, truth, and hope. There are people who don't live only in the present. While many see only what is right in front of them, the visionary sees what does not yet exist. They perceive invisible signs and carry within them the vision of the future that the divine wishes to reveal. These are the visionaries, chosen to guide humanity through their ability to see beyond the veil of time and illusion. The calling of this chosen one is clear: to bring into the present the wisdom of the future and the messages of the eternal. The visionary feels that their mind and heart are connected to something greater. They experience dreams, premonitions, and intuitions that often come true. Their life is marked by deep sensitivity, as if they could read the hidden movements of existence itself. Maybe you are one of them if you have dreams or visions that reveal events before they happen. If you feel you notice signs that others ignore, as if the universe itself was speaking to you through symbols. If you carry a creative imagination that sees possibilities where others see only limits. Or if you often feel out of place, as though your mind exists in another dimension beyond the here and now. The visionary also inspires others by sharing their insights, because their vision always opens paths of hope. If these descriptions resonate within you, perhaps the gift of the visionary is active in your soul. To fully manifest this archetype, it is necessary to cultivate inner silence, learning to hear the divine voice beyond the noise of the world. To develop spiritual discernment, distinguishing what is mere imagination from what is true revelation. To have the courage to trust even when no one else believes, and to hold firm to the vision received. And finally, to embrace service to the collective, using visions not for personal gain, but to guide, prepare, and uplift others. The visionary is a messenger of the future, a chosen one who sees beyond the curtains of time and brings back the revelations needed to awaken humanity. If you feel you have eyes that see beyond, if within you there is a quiet certainty that your mission is to reveal the invisible, perhaps you are one of these chosen ones. And remember, being a visionary is not only about seeing what is to come, but about transforming each vision into a path of light for the world. Now that you've discovered the 7 divine chosen ones, the oracle, the free spirit, the voice of truth, the guardian of light, the healer of souls, the warrior of justice, and the visionary, it's time to reflect. Which of these archetypes resonates most with your soul? Remember, we all carry fragments of divine light within us. Recognizing your calling is the first step toward living your mission fully. Each chosen one has a unique role, but together they reveal the great tapestry of the divine plan, showing that no one is here by accident. If this video touched your heart or awakened something inside you, like, share, and subscribe to the channel to continue this spiritual journey. And in the comments, tell us, which of these chosen ones do you feel you are? Let's create a community of awakened souls, supporting and inspiring each other at every step along the way.